Before we get started, let's spend some time lacing up our shoes and just getting a little mentally prepared. And you may skip ahead to 8 minutes and 46 seconds if you're already ready to go. But this is a guided meditation for walking. So we will be focusing together right here at the beginning to prepare the mind for the journey ahead. Maybe you don't have anyone to go walking with, and you don't want to feel so alone. Or maybe you do want to be alone, and while you're walking, you just want to find some peace, maybe some focus and awareness to clear your thoughts. And whatever the reason is that you chose to continue your meditation practice during a walk, way to be here for it. It's not easy showing up for yourself sometimes. And today, you've chosen to take 2 big steps toward the well-being of your health. One for the physical body, and one for the mind. Give yourself a nice little pat on the back. And while you're patting yourself on the back, if you really are, which you should, have no shame. Just do it. Just allow that to transform into a stretch right here at the beginning before we start walking. Let's just breathe a little light into the arms and the side body and the neck. And just stretch out the arms. Maybe massage the shoulders. You can stretch out the legs too. The side body. Bend, twist, whatever you like. And whenever you're ready, just wring it all out. Move your head around. Loosening the muscles prior to a walk allows the body to become more resistant to the impact it's about to undergo, thereby reducing the chance of pain or discomfort in the legs, or in the feet, or anywhere else. And the upper body is just as important as the lower during a long walk. Everything is connected. And now you may feel energized and ready to begin, but this is a mindful meditation, so I urge you to take a moment to close your eyes. You can do this while you're standing or sitting down. Focus on your breathing. You haven't begun exercising yet, so just allow yourself to honor the breath, the lungs, the entire body, for their divine service on the journey ahead. Let's start with a big, deep breath, inhaling gratitude and exhaling any tension or apprehension. Just breathing life into the body right here at the beginning, letting go of any doubts, any worries. And now just breathe mindfully and repeat these words to yourself using the mind's eye. I will have an excellent walk today. I am happily committed to the duration of this meditation. My mind is focused and ready. I am strong and I can easily accomplish what I set out to do. I am always becoming the best version of myself. I am proud of myself for nourishing my mind and body. I deserve to be happy and healthy. Now, tap into an inner smile as you open your eyes. And you can go ahead and finish getting ready. Grab anything extra you may need. A bottle of water, perhaps. A pack to carry any supplies you may need. Or you may wish to go as is. Continue wringing out the body with mindful movements and focusing on the breath while we wait for other listeners to make any final preparations. Perhaps you can continue preparing the mind. As we strengthen our bodies today, we'll also be strengthening the mind. The ability to focus, tuning out the noise, as it were, clearing away outside distractions, and tuning in to the present moment, right here, right now. Maybe you're anxious to begin. Maybe you feel like you're in a rush. Don't worry. You'll have no need for any clocks. In fact, go ahead and turn off any potential sounds or notifications from any devices you'll have with you on your walk. Occasionally throughout this meditation, I will be letting you know how long we've been walking, or how much time is remaining. There will be no need for you to worry about time. The length of our walk, not including this warm-up, is exactly 1 hour. Just focus on my voice here at the beginning, and eventually I'll move to the back while continuing to help you remain focused, maybe prevent boredom. And hopefully, this self-loving exercise will end with a big smile in your heart. Let's give it a shot. My name is KT, and it is my deepest honor to be your guide on this beautiful day or night, good enough time for a walk. So let's go. Now notice right away the way you're walking, your posture, your feet. And think about your spine, the base of the spine, the root, and move your thoughts upward to the crown of your head, keeping your back straight, long and tall, chin slightly lifted, shoulders relaxed, jaw relaxed. And whatever kind of shoes you're wearing, if you're wearing shoes. If you have any room to spread your toes out while you're walking, do that. Notice how it gives you a little bit more stability to engage the toes. You don't have to spread them out completely, just to a comfortable level. Now take a mindful deep breath into the upper back and exhale to release any tension. You can walk at a comfortable pace if you're walking just to walk or for your health. You may not have any destination. Choose the best pace for you. And pay attention to the sounds around you. All the different sounds. Life is buzzing in some way or another. If there are people around, be mindful of them. Notice any thoughts that might come up as you're walking, any distracting thoughts, any criticisms, judgments, thoughts about your day, or maybe someone or something that's been on your mind. And then allow those thoughts to pass by, like a passing vehicle. Or maybe just imagine tossing them into a vehicle as it passes by. Or maybe a stream, or a tree, or whatever you're passing. Take those thoughts and just observe them as they pass by. Right here, right now, you are connecting with the earth, with the body, the breath, the mind. Everything else is just passing by. And just as the body keeps moving forward, allowing the objects all around you and the earth beneath you to pass on by, do the same with these distractions as they may come up on our walk today. And then return to noticing the body sensations, returning to the feet, keeping the shoulders relaxed, the upper back relaxed, the breath, the jaw. And just for a moment, gaze down toward the feet while you walk. Maybe just the space in front of the feet. See the earth moving behind you as you move forward. Then slowly lift your gaze and look as far ahead of you as you can possibly see. Look all around at the scenery in the foreground of the sky and think about the vastness of the world. of the earth beneath your feet. And just being mindful of each step that you take. Notice how your feet land, how each foot meets the ground with every step, keeping the ankles sturdy, using the feet to guide and protect the muscles in your legs, engaging the feet and the legs. And take a calm and mindful breath. Tap into an inner smile and find some gratitude for your feet, for your legs, for yourself, for going on this journey and deciding to take a walk today. You did it. You're here. Even if you walk all the time, keeping any healthy habit is a very real accomplishment. Every time you show up for yourself in a big way like this, it's like your own little marathon. Whether it's a habit or your first time in a while, you're doing great. Take a moment to notice if you're speeding up or slowing down, and just try to keep that mindful pace as you walk, focusing on that stability, and occasionally breathing into the back body, continuing to keep the shoulders relaxed and the breath relaxed. And now, even though we're still here at the beginning, let's slow down. Come to a brief stop. If you're not in a position to stop, feel free to keep walking, but if you can, pause for a moment. Feel free to walk in place, but just for the next few seconds, really take a good, detailed look at your surroundings. Memorize what you see and the sounds that you hear. Just really dial in a bit of situational awareness. Look around. All right, now let's keep walking. And as you're walking, continue to look around and observe in the same way as when you were standing still. As though your eyes are cinematic, everything around you is moving gradually, like trees that glide by while slowly paddling down a river in a canoe. Watch as objects slowly become closer. And some objects that come closer may reveal other objects that were hiding behind them that you couldn't see until you got closer. See if you can spend the next few seconds taking a picture or video in your mind of this moment. Everything that you see, keeping your gaze wide. Memorize everything about it, even the way it feels. And while you keep walking and observing, take a nice, warm, loving breath into your heart And just notice any shift in perception, any increase of vividness. The expanse of the earth around you, life buzzing all around you. And if you're walking in an area where there are other people, just noticing that you are just as much a stranger to them as they are to you. An equal amount of unknowns. And that your life, everything that you've experienced, has led you right here, right now, to this moment. And theirs too. Some people walk for their health, maybe to lose weight, but remember, walking doesn't need to be about appearances. Although, appearances can be a reflection of physical health. You're supporting the heart and the muscles. But it's also really good for the mind. Elevating and fostering balance and presence of mind in your everyday life. And it shouldn't always be about getting your steps in or your miles, so much as honoring the body, the vessel that you were born into, keeping it healthy, keeping it going. And maybe this body hasn't always been the best, but right now give it some credit for making it this far. Honor your body and yourself. Just knowing that you are doing wonders for yourself, your entire mind, body, and spirit in this moment right now. Every step that you take breathes new life into the entire body. Still being mindful of each step, your posture, letting go of any tension that you feel anywhere. Obviously, you need to tense the muscles in your legs and buttock as you walk. But regarding the rest of the body, just notice any tension that is unnecessary. Tension that does not help serve this walk. Not allowing the spine to collapse, stretching that spine upward without raising the shoulders. Continue to allow them to relax. As you inhale, lengthen the body and the neck. And as you exhale, release all tension while keeping the body long and tall. And just to help you with time here, as most of us keep up with time as we walk, we are almost at 17 minutes, so I'm going to give you a few minutes of quiet time. Practice focusing on the feet, the body, keeping that height, the chin slightly lifted, shoulders relaxed, and maintaining that wide, cinematic view, allowing distracting thoughts to come and go. while objects move closer and pass by. Observing all the sounds. If you brought a bottle of water with you, maybe we can take a moment to pause and take a sip of our water. Stay hydrated. And while you're paused, feel free to take another moment to look around, absorb the scene that surrounds you. Allowing stillness or walking in place, but giving yourself permission to slow down. And take another sip if you like. Still taking in the sounds and remaining where you are. Now let's keep walking. Return to the breath, keeping the body and neck long, head balanced over the heart with the chin slightly lifted. Inhaling that length and exhaling tension, keeping the shoulders relaxed. Holding on to that height. Paying attention to the feet and the sounds around you. remaining aware of the people around you, if there are people, any objects that slowly pass by, keeping your gaze wide in a cinematic view. Appreciation for this tiny bit of land on this great big earth, where you're free to walk and create space and growth for your body. And we've been walking now for about 23 minutes. If you're noticing any uncomfortable sensations within the body, I urge you to not try to ignore those feelings when they come up, if they come up at any time during this walk. Just shift your focus onto the area. Notice if there's any tension there, or if you need to pause and do a little squat or a stretch, anything to wring it out. Otherwise, imagine when you inhale that you're breathing into that area. Maybe even picture a big bright ball of white light right in that spot. And as you exhale and continue breathing into it, notice how the light gets brighter, generating ease. Depending on the level of discomfort you're experiencing, this can definitely help. Just feel out what's best for you. What's best for keeping you comfortable right now. Making sure you're continuing to maintain that good posture. Keeping the feet engaged. Letting go of any negative thoughts or sensations like irritation, annoyance. This is a mindful practice. Everyone walks the earth with challenges. I know I have, and I do. And I'm sure that you have as well. Try not to think too heavily, but for now, feel free to think passively about these challenging moments in your life. And when you do, notice any new sensations in the body where you feel them. And then breathe light into those places. As silly or strange as it sounds, give it a shot. Inhale to bring light to these areas. Exhale and imagine the light getting brighter. Inhale even brighter. And exhale, releasing whatever comes up. Building that bright, powerful, healing light. Letting go of those discomforts, negative sensations, or thoughts. Earlier in our walk, when I asked you to breathe into your heart, try to remember what came up for you when you did that. And then remember where you were when you did that. Holding on to that memory, let's once again breathe into the heart, inhaling forgiveness, gratitude, and exhaling to release. And feel free to do it again, a second time. You deserve it. You've come a long way, fought many battles. You are a warrior. Celebrate that strength, that perseverance, determination, the motivation to get out and walk today. And breathing as many times as you like into your heart's center as you walk. Mindful, healing breaths. And let's come back to the now. Right now. You are here in this good space, free to walk. And remaining mindful of the body always. What's different about right now? How much has the scene changed? Are you noticing any new sounds that maybe weren't there before? I'm going to be quiet for about 1 minute to give you a bit of stillness in the mind. We are now at our halfway point. We've been walking for 30 minutes. So if you need to turn around, think about turning around soon. Or maybe just change direction to make sure that you will get back to your destination in time. Or maybe you just decide to keep walking. Whatever you decide, just continue breathing, not too deeply. You don't want to make yourself lightheaded as you walk, but just really breathing in mindfully to create that length, that height, relaxing all tension while keeping that good posture. Being mindful of the steps and the feet. Not allowing the feet to rock inward on the arches, but keeping the feet aligned while balanced so that the big toe and the pinky are rocking onto the earth at the same time. If you're in a city, maybe look for areas of life within the cracks of the city. Not just landscaped trees or flowers, things planted by people, but maybe weeds, little bits of grass that grow in the cracks of the sidewalk or wherever they feel like growing. Things that help you to see the wildness of Earth fighting against the tameness of a cityscape. All around you, notice. Depending on where you are, there could be vines growing up a stop sign or a fence or whatever it could be. Or maybe you're on a hike, completely surrounded by nature. Wherever you may be, let's think about what this entire area might look like if left unmaintained for 100 years. All the growth everywhere. What you see around you and what it might look like. Just use the imagination. You are an energetic being passing through any tall trees or overgrowth, or even the rubble of a crumbling sidewalk or street. How might things look without any attention from humans? No maintenance or care. And now let's come back, traveling back in time to the here and now, the present. You are long, you are tall, engaging the feet, the toes, the muscles in the legs. Your gaze is wide, and your mind is focused on my voice. You are here now. The earth beneath you glides behind, and the objects around you slowly pass by. Still focusing on the concept of time and your place in time. And maybe you'd like to play around with the idea of time a little bit more, just to strengthen your focus on the present, on the now, becoming more and more aware of the separation between what has been and what could be, and that tiny little micro moment in the center that is right now. Imagine where you are right now, what it might have looked like 500 years ago, before there was ever this scenery around you now. What do you think was there? What kind of trees do you think? Could there have been any open areas of very tall grass? Maybe there used to be a body of water right where you're standing. Maybe on your next walk, you can, in between now and then, look up the history of the area where you're walking. And if you're able to listen to this meditation again, you'll have an idea of how it may have once looked. There's no metaphor, no need to think too deeply about it. Just building an awareness of the space you're in, as well as the time, the now. Once again, traveling back through time to the present moment. Right now, you are on a walk. Your legs are moving. Your torso shifts as the body continues moving forward. The body is finding length and engagement in the feet. The mind is finding stillness and space with that cinematic view. Keeping watch as that foreground slowly glides by. You've got this light inside of you, wherever it may be, and it continues to spread throughout the body, thanking you for giving it life, thanking the body for giving it a home. And you are a vessel of light, possibly walking by strangers who have no idea. Maybe there are no strangers, no people, but if there are, maybe they're noticing that whimsical, magical little pep in your step, even if you're walking at a stop and smell the roses pace. You are beaming with light energy. This energy, this lightness, reflects off you without any effort from you. It spreads to the lives around you, including any pets or plant life. Your light ignites the lights around you. And we are at 40 minutes, in case you needed to keep up with the time. And if you like, we can take a little break for another sip of water. Let's just do it. Let's take a little stop. Get out your water. If you don't have water, just take a little look around. Pause for a moment, or continue stepping in place. And as you take another sip or two, or just look around, take some time to notice the differences between where you are now and where you were during our last break. What's different about the ground beneath your feet? The objects around you. The picturesque view within your gaze. The sounds. And as we begin walking again, continuing this cinematic view, this wide gaze, the sky with the foreground slowly gliding by. Notice any objects around you that might shock someone from 500 years ago who was able to somehow see them today. Buildings, lights, vehicles, or even the technology that you're able to use to access a meditation like this. In that sense, you might feel quite like you're from the future. Now take a moment to appreciate the ingenuity of humanity, not thinking too deeply about it, not concentrating on any negative aspects or going down any rabbit holes in your mind about anything, just simply the raw ingenuity, the brilliance of intelligent life here on Earth, our species. And as a member of the earthly species, an animal, a human, return to the inward gaze of the body, just the awareness. Noticing the feet and how they feel. Are they growing tired? And if so, maybe we can mindfully slow down just a little bit. Taking another quick break, not to stop walking, just to slow down our walk, just a little, or a lot, depending on how much relief you need. And now, when you take a step in front of you, land on the heel and just roll through the whole foot into the next step. Just mindfully rolling through the entire foot into that next step. Could be for just a few steps, or however many you want, whatever feels good. Slow, careful steps. And if you're worried that you might look silly, you can begin to very gradually speed it back up while keeping that roll in your step. And if you don't care about how you might look, maybe widen or elongate the steps. Make yourself kind of a giant. Imagine that you are a giant. Just for a moment. Everything beneath you is so small. Walking unhurried with a slow, steady, wide gait. Just rolling through that whole foot, keeping those toes spread. Notice if it's giving you any issues with balance and make adjustments throughout the rest of the body. And if you feel silly, go ahead and laugh. And don't worry, we won't be here long. Just massaging that foot, adding integrity and looseness to the ankles, freeing up a bit of pressure in the calves, honoring the body. Notice if the feet have become a little less sore, a little more energized. keeping that body long and those shoulders relaxed and that neck long, chin slightly elevated to keep that head balanced perfectly upon the spine. And then, whenever you're ready, return to a normal walking pace. But in keeping that light, that love pouring into the feet, let's continue playing with the imagination and do something that's not quite as silly looking, but is still a bit different than a casual walk. You were just a great big giant, and now just try to picture a string attached to your right knee and a string attached to your left knee, thinking of yourself as a puppet, a marionette. So when you take your steps, lead with your knee for a moment, each knee, allowing the foot to kind of dangle beneath you as you lift each knee to take your steps. Not too high, just whatever's comfortable. Dangle the foot. If you need to slow down and you feel like wiggling it while it's in the air for a few steps, go for it. And then practice walking at a casual pace while leading with each knee not too high, keeping the ankles loose. Gentle steps. You might imagine that you're walking upstairs, even though you're on flat land or whatever kind of terrain you're on. All right, let's begin walking like normal people now. We are no longer giants, no longer puppets. We are in the present, continuing to give your body that support that you would give yourself if you were going up a flight of stairs, but you are remaining flat, just noticing if the right foot is going directly in front of itself and the left foot is going directly in front of itself. Trying to keep them from crossing over one another or being wide or angled inward or outward. Just keeping the feet straight and sturdy. Toes spread for support the best you can. Just using the whole foot as you walk. Both feet. And know that we have been walking now for 50 minutes, which means we've got about 10 minutes left. And that's pretty exciting. You're doing so great. Almost done. And now use the breath again to keep the body long and release tension, keeping the body long and tall. Continuously being consciously aware of that length, of that posture. And if you're going to keep walking, feel free to start this over or listen to some music, but keep those mindful actions as you walk. And keep in mind that while this is the present moment, you are simultaneously existing in the far future and in the long ago past, with your futuristic gadgets and cityscapes, as well as your impermanence, every fleeting moment, reminding you that you are alive right here, right now. Life will continue in some form or another, just like tomorrow and yesterday. And just like an object you see up ahead that you're about to pass, and an object you've already walked by. Here you are, truly living in the moment, unbothered, powerful, strong. Always trying to continue your practice in your everyday life. As people come and go, as shiny new gadgets become old and outdated, finding time to train the mind. Being mindful of the people you're around, especially those you're around most often, fighting their own secret battles. Some not so secret, but always seeking to find their highest self, allowing your highest self to acknowledge theirs anytime you communicate or interact. Continuing to be unafraid of the way that triggers affect us, and breathing light into those areas of our bodies or our minds. And never holding yourself to any standard. Simply allowing yourself to be, while checking in each day and maintaining that mind-body connection. As big as the world, as big as time and space, you are here, and you are now. You're alive, and as someone who took time out of their day to go for a mindful walk, cleansing the inner space that rules your thoughts and actions, I am so grateful to have had the opportunity to be a part of it. Thank you for caring enough about your wellness to extend your practice outside of your comfort zone, and for keeping an open mind throughout this whole session. We've got about 5 minutes left, but I don't want you to think about time at all for the remainder of this session. Really practice being inside of each micro moment, right now. Keep that body tall. Keep those breaths mindful. Awareness on the feet. The here and the now. That cinematic gaze. The objects that slowly appear. And once you're ready to wind down, maybe return to those giant steps as you approach your destination. Ring those feet out. Ring out the whole body. Stretch your arms way above your head. You can do this even if you've decided to continue your walk. Just stretch those arms above your head. Give your body a nice, good, grateful stretch. I'd like for you to repeat some phrases now in your mind while continuing your practice of conscious awareness in the steps and the body and the scenery and life all around you, right here, right now, not focusing on time, having trust and ease, continuing to lengthen the body and release that tension. I want you to take another loving breath into the heart and repeat these phrases in the mind's eye. I am grounded and centered. My heart space radiates gratitude. I deserve to be here. I release and let go of all resentment, negative feelings that do not serve me. I forgive myself for my mistakes, and I grow from them. I am strong. I am powerful. I honor myself and my vessel. My thoughts are peaceful and clear. I will expand my awareness and remain mindful today. All is well. Have a wonderful rest of your day, your evening, your morning, whatever time it is, wherever you are. And I feel a bit silly saying this, but I mean it. Namaste.